We're all down here at Pioneer Square.
Yep, we're all down here at Pioneer Square.
And it's all about?
It's an emergency rally to support the people of Honduras who are in the streets right now trying to recover their president, who is a refugee in the Brazilian embassy. He snuck back into the country, Sound of Music style. He was ousted he was ousted 3 months ago on June 28th. He tried to return several times. The OAS has called for his reinstatement. The Organization of American States, the international community has called for his reinstatement, except for the U.S. The U.S.'s response to the military coup that deposed him on June 28th has been lukewarm at best. They canceled visas of a few of the top officials of the de facto regime, cut off aid. There's rumors that arms are entering the country illegally. And we think there needs to be a stronger response. Currently, the president snuck back in. He's being held being protected in the Brazilian embassy, and the de facto regime is trying to attack the embassy and get in and arrest him.
I heard it's like totally surrounded.
Yeah, it's totally surrounded. There's a state of siege in the country. Hundreds have been arrested. There's reports of up to 20 dead in the last few days since Zelaya returned on the 21st. And we're concerned about the escalation of violence. There doesn't need to be an intervention, an overt military intervention by the states, of course, but a stronger response, that there would be consequences to further violence is necessary. And right now we're asking people to contact our U.S. representative to the UN. We're making more copies. See, we went through these really quickly. I go the other corner. All right. To the UN Social and Economic Council. They are debating this right now.
Okay.
Because it's an international incident now that the Brazilian
Is there a phone number there or something? Or right? Let me zoom in on that.
Folks can call this number. It was full when I tried to call. This link also goes to an email form to tell them what you think. Woo!
And the message basically is he should be returned to power.
Right, to acknowledge what happened on June 28th as a military coup and a violation of the democratic rights of the Honduran people, and to impose an economic blockade to debilitate the coup regime that's right now endangering the lives of thousands of citizens of Honduras.
Okay. Who are most of these people? An organization around here?
A lot of these folks are from Jobs with Justice and the Portland Central America Solidarity Committee.
PCAS.
PCAS.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
I have an interview that you should do with Daniel Bonham right here.
Okay.
Who lived in Honduras for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Can he
Hi.
interview you real quick as our resident Honduras expert?
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Well, why don't you introduce her?
Here is our good friend Daniel Bonham. Fighter of the good fight here in Portland, carpenter, enforcer of fair contracts. And this comrade lived in Honduras for, was it 2 years?
Off and on for almost 4 years, yeah.
Off and on for almost 4 years.
Total of a year.
He knows Honduras.
How long ago did you live there?
That was I left the area in '79. So
79?
Yeah, but I've kept up a little bit with what's going on.
So, got anything to say about what's going on right now, currently?
Yeah. It's the biggest problem, I think, with the entire situation is that it's getting so little attention.
Right.
Honduras is a small country. The only thing is, it's the quintessential banana republic. Standard Brands and United Fruit Company are the main employers down there still. And as it was at the time I was there. When I was there in the late 70s, there was an issue of agrarian reform that finally petered out. And so the really disturbing thing is that here we finally have an individual with a conscience who is from the ruling class, who wants to do something better for his people. And not only is he considered politically subversive, but he's also a traitor against his class, against the ruling class. This is why we really need to support him.
And him is Zelaya?
Zelaya, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Presidente Zelaya, and so that's why there's this fervor, I think, against him by the ruling classes there now. It's like a club.
Is it the elite ruling class?
Yes. Yeah. It's a club. I just had somebody asking me about, you do have the American corporations down there, but they're not really directly involved, I don't think, in this particular situation. It's more, from what I've heard and from what I've been able to glean from the local papers down there. The internet is a wonderful thing. I can read las noticias and stuff like that. You know, it's just the old family, the old money. You know, afraid that their power position is going to be compromised by this guy who's gone off the reservation.
Is that why did they kick him out of there? What was their big reasoning? That he was doing criminal stuff, or is that what they're claiming?
Okay, now you've probably read the as near as I can understand, the Constitution has a term limit of 4 years, and he wanted to put a referenda to the people, allowing to be the more than 4-year terms. And the Supreme Court ruled that was illegal, but the Supreme Court's all part of the same club, the same group of people. And so he defied this and was trying to proceed with the referenda, a referenda that in any other country, and in the United States or in a state like Oregon, would be totally legal. And just a given, you allow the people to have that kind of choice. Well, that's not allowed there, according to the Supreme Court. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of the Constitution. I don't know whether it actually would have been an illegal thing, but it was ruled illegal. The point is that the United States, as a people, should be very much supporting of a democratic movement. And yet our government, our representatives, are either ignoring it or appear, as Hillary Clinton recently made a statement, to actually be in a de facto sort of way supporting the coup. It's like supporting it by not having enough criticism. You know?
And there's a big media suppression going on down there too, I think, right now. Have you heard much about that at all?
No, I haven't heard. My only media sources really are the internet, so it doesn't seem to be that there's any lack of information coming out through the internet. So I couldn't, as far as mass media, or certainly it's not getting the attention in the U.S. mainstream media. I think that's definitely true. Yeah.
I'd even heard that down there's some suppression going on and keeping people away and not reporting on what's going on. That type of stuff.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay. Do you have family or friends still down there?
I do have friends still there. And as a matter of fact, I was in contact with a son of a man I worked for when I was down there. The family is, well, I probably shouldn't mention that.
Yeah.
But and so.
Okay. Well, thanks for telling us a little bit more about what's happening. And you bet. Solidarity.